right, Stabler back. Looking, going to Branch, wide open. Touchdown Raiders! Branch committed highway robbery without a gun.
What's up, Raider Nation? It's OG Jack Daniels from the Chronicles of Black Hole. I'm here joined by Jack Kenna, and we got a special guest tonight. Meet Raider Ray.
What's going on, Raider Nation?
Salute, Raider Ray. Welcome aboard, brother.
Ray.
Hey, you guys, first and foremost, I just want to thank OG, and I want to thank you, Jack. Thank you guys for having me on just to sit here and talk Raiders football. It's a blessing, and it's an honor to be on the show with you guys.
Oh, hey, man.
Proud to have you on, brother.
Hey, I was glad I found your video and invited you in, man, because I like your content. And chat room or the chat, if you don't know, go to Raider Ray and go check out his channel. I'm telling you right now, you're going to get some really good insight. Jack, let me ask you a question. Of the people we drafted, right? Any of them that you don't know about that you'd like to learn more about?
That kid from UCLA, that last pick was a head scratcher to me, and I don't really know a lot about him. And it's like some of the channels didn't even really have info on the guy. So,
how about you, Ray?
You're talking about Britton Bouldin, running back out of UCLA. I believe he had like 615 rushing yards on this season. He was coming off of some knee injuries, which is why you probably didn't hear a lot of him. He actually played for Duke before he got transferred to UCLA. And he went to UCLA because he was looking for an extremely run-heavy offense. So I kind of like that about the guy, right? He wants the football in his hand. He's a true power gap scheme runner. I made a video about it, and I might get criticism. I almost liked the Britton Brown pick just as much as I liked the Zeus pick, because this guy, Zeus in the open field reminded me a little bit of Tay Train. He in the open field, he kind of went down easy, but I like the kid out of UCLA because he's not afraid to put his helmet down and hit you, and that's what I love about the kid.
So tell me, what about his hands? I mean, can he catch the ball at all, or?
Here's the thing. He has more receiving yards than what Zeus did his senior year. The thing about him is he was constant in this draft. It was actually really interesting digging into the numbers because each year these players got better. And that's what I look for when I'm looking at prospects. I'm looking at, are these young guys getting better in their collegiate career? And it's not kind of like a one-hit wonder type of deal. Out of the backfield, these two running backs are really similar. So it tells me that they were going for a specific style, and they're both coming off of injury. So they're kind of insurance policies for one another, if you guys want my honest opinion on it.
And this is why I invited this guy to the show.
Nice.
He's got that kind of in-depth. His content is fire. Everybody in the chat, please go over and subscribe to Raider Ray. If you want really good, high-quality content, this guy's new. He doesn't have a lot of subscribers. He needs to have a lot of subscribers. And when you see his content, you'll understand that you'll want to be. He keeps it brief. It's to the point. He doesn't drag it on for 30 minutes. He just, bam, he tells you what he thinks of these players. He went through all of our draft picks, and that was the video. His knowledge is really, this guy knows his stuff. And that's why I want to bring him on here. Everybody, Raider Ray, what is your, hold on, you know what?
Shoot, Nation, ask those questions to Ray. Ray's got some answers for you.
Yeah.
I don't got all the answers, but I don't want to ever BS stuff, but if I know it, we'll chop it up.
Let's see here. Let me get into this chat real quick. Okay, because we got a lot of people in there. James Furpo, Raiders. Freddie Chavez. Hey, how's it going, brother? Michael Guerrero, how are you doing? Man, hey, salute. Anthony Estrada. Hey, how you doing, man? Okay, let's see. We got Diego in the chat. Hey, Pendejos just dropping in.
Hey, what's good?
All right, and let's see, Anthony. Salute to you, man. Salute to you. Hey, we got Robert Pena in here. Oh, we got
Robert.
Richard. Hey, bro. What's going on, Richard? Hey, you guys,
Richard.
like I said. Oh, hey, Cortez, what's going on, man? Oh, yeah, there you go. Like I said, go over to Raider Ray and subscribe to his channel. I promise you will like the content. It's really informative, really in depth, and it's just intelligent content, not like you find here. Hey, BL, what's going on, man? Let's see. Matt Marinovich. There you go. There's a question. What do you think, Ray?
So look, I had some Raider Nation giving me some backlash for this. I don't think that Parham's going to be our new center year one. Look, he's got Derek Carr has chemistry with Andre Drains, right? And at the end of the last season, Andre actually started to become better. He was actually ranked in the top 10 of centers. I believe it was the final 6 weeks of the season last year. And another thing that we have to look for when we're looking at this roster are players getting better. Do I think that Andre fits the gap scheme better than he fit the zone blocking scheme? That I can't tell you. That I would say Parham does fit. So if we are going predominantly heavy power gap scheme, yeah, look for Parham to make a push. Do I think he's just going to come in and take Andre's job? No, I don't think that. Because Josh McDaniels is going to bring a mix of offense, right? Not every week are you going to get the power gap scheme. Not every week are you going to get zone stretch plays. This guy's going to mix it up. He's shown that in New England. He showed that in Denver. So honestly, guys, I'm going to lock in Andre James as a starter year one. But down the road, look for Parham to step into that center role and start for a long time for the Raiders.
I can see that. And that was like one of my big questions about James. We're going from zone blocking to power, kind of undersized. Parham's a little undersized too at like 311 pounds. But that guy's built like a freight train. I mean, he started off, doing like track and long jump and broad jump. And every year he's just kind of added 10 pounds onto his frame. And, he may continue to do that. And I can see him, even starting, off as a guard. And, but he's got the versatility to kick it inside. So I do love the fact that his versatility, out there. So it'll be interesting to see who actually starts and who doesn't start, who wins the jobs, who doesn't win the jobs on our Raiders.
Well, what's interesting? Sorry.
Mod you up. I don't know how to mod you up right now, All Eyes on G. I'd love to have you as a mod, but I don't know how to do it right at this moment. I'm old. Okay, I'm old. I'm gonna have to research that, but I will mod you. I'm gonna find Raider Ray's page, and I'm gonna put the link in there. And if somebody wants to copy it, then they can post it on here and play mod. But yeah, so go ahead. I'm sorry, guys. Didn't mean to interrupt.
No. So what's interesting
figure out, have Captain bring Terrence on, and then Terrence can run the show from that side there, OG.
Yeah, no kidding. Because Terrence is a mod on here. But he may be over at the Captain's channel later. But here's the link to Raider Ray right here. If somebody can snatch that up and put it in, I don't even know how to save it as a link. I just copied and pasted.
I'll have to watch it later so I can copy it down.
Yeah, but you definitely want it's just Raider Ray, and
okay. That'll be easy enough to find. I got you. I'll subscribe.
Yeah, I kept it simple.
Yeah, it's
SC. Salute, brother.
Who's in there?
Oh, SC.
Oh, hey, baby Mark, what's going on? SC Experience. That's
AKA
it.
The kid.
That's it. The oh my God, it's Mr. Stack 'em up.
So Richard asked about our other 7th round pick. Salute, Richard. In the 7th round, the offensive tackle from Ohio State.
Yep.
As a value pick, unbelievable. That guy was supposed to be like in the end of the 4th, beginning of the 5th round. So, I mean, get him in the 7th round. I think it's developmental. Well, I'm looking forward to it. I think it was a good pick.
So yeah, I think it's exactly what you just said. It's developmental. This is a guy. Look, again, kind of to reflect back on the running back situation. Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler, they're looking for guys who can play multiple positions and can flex in and out. That's what you get here in the 7th round pick. He played left tackle. He played guard. He swung over and played right tackle. These guys are extremely versatile, and that's what you want. That's what you want in a football player. I do think he is a developmental piece. He's long. He's athletic. He has good size. He's really powerful once he gets his hands on you. There is a few games, though, that he got bullied a little bit. So when we're looking at the highlights, we need to remember that's exactly what they are, is highlights. And we got to break down the film. To go back, I don't want to backtrack too much, but to go back on the Parham situation, this guy has talked about being a center, and he's never taken a snap at center a day not in his collegiate career. And he was actually graded out as a top guard, even though he played right tackle. So the scouting was almost all over the place on this kid. But what I love about Parham is that his lower body is so strong. You're not going to see him push and drive people back into the dirt. But what you're going to see is guys who are 20 to 30 pounds bigger than him. He sets his hips low, and these guys don't go anywhere. It's like a standstill.
Anchors.
And that's
technically sound.
Yeah, he's extremely technically sound, and that's what's intriguing about him. Because if you take a kid like that, like you said, his size, how much he's grown. If you looked at the photos of how much he grew in his collegiate career, it's quite impressive. So if he can even gain another 15 pounds for this power scheme, I'm gonna love it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I mean, he's averaging about 10 pounds a year is what he's been averaging.
Okay,
there's a lot of guys subscribing. Got you going on there, Ray.
You know your shit. That's why I wanted to get you on here. Okay, so here's my take on Parham. Anybody goes down, we got depth on that offensive line. We've got depth. Anybody goes down, Parham's going in. It doesn't matter what position, pretty much.
Yep.
He can play it. And that's the wonderful thing about this guy. Did he start off originally as a tight end, then he went to a defensive end, and then he played offensive line? I mean, the guy can ball. He's a baller. He's a baller.
I think he also ran like a 4.9 or something ridiculous for a man big. I mean, that kid is so fast.
And everybody always wants to talk about it's the Patriot way. It's a Patriot way, this and that. This is a little bit different. This is a little bit different. You can tell that if you look at the Patriots draft now, I think Dave Ziegler and Champ Kelly, they were integral in that New England Patriots organization. And you've seen it in their drafts, right? If you look at New England's draft this year, wow, you can really feel the presence of Dave Ziegler, Champ Kelly being taken out of that building. And
Anthony really likes that hoodie, bro.
And I actually make these, brother. So this is actually a custom Max Crosby. I got round 4, pick 106 down here.
Nice.
I make these. I got Max Crosby going down the sleeve. The back of it says Mad Max.
Oh, you're never gonna have an issue with merch then, bro. I promise you.
Yeah. I made it. There was some stuff, dude, that was like, man, I like this Raider gear, but I got a different twist on it. So got all my equipment that I needed and started doing that.
Well, it symbolizes every year, you can have a jersey or a shirt or a sweatshirt like every year, and have the kids that we draft, and you can go back and look at years later and go, oh, this is who we took.
Mm-hmm. I picked this up. This came in the mail today, actually. I was excited to show Raider Nation this. But I promised on my channel, Chronicles, I'm sure you've seen it, but the first 1,000 subscribers getting one mailed to them. But I picked this up. This is a Crosby signed jersey. That came
So he gets 1,000 subscribers. Just remember, if you're a subscriber, you're eligible to get that jersey, bro.
Yep.
So you want to sub? If you don't want to sub because I asked you to, now you better sub because otherwise you out of your mind.
Right. Now you got incentive.
OT wants that jersey, so sub up, guys.
Yeah. I don't get the jersey, but one of the subscribers, well, I am a subscriber, who knows, but I didn't even know I saw that on a video after I subscribed to you, but yeah, man. No, I didn't come out here to, pimp out Raider Ray, but the guy's stuff is so good. It's like, how do you, I wanted to make sure you guys knew about this guy because he's going to be He just started out. He's got some great stuff. Sorry guys, I'm winning that. All eyes on G. Sorry guys, I'm winning that.
Hey, that's what we like to hear.
Oh, hey, BLs, you got 163
Absolutely.
subs, man. You picked up 22 subs already.
Well, there we go.
Oh, everybody's subbing.
That's what it's
Raider
all about.
Nation.
The Raider
Yeah,
Nation supports the nation. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, Raider Nation. I just want to say a huge shout out
I
to
don't
you guys.
promote any. I've never promoted anybody like this before. I've never done it, but his content's so freaking good. I had to. It's like, hey man, this is some great shit. Raider Nation's missing out. There ain't enough of them watching him. You gonna have them watching it now.
That's what that's what makes Raider Nation so unique from any other fan base in all of sports, man. It's a huge family, and everybody's out here to see everybody succeed. And yeah, man, like I said, Chronicles, Jack, thank you guys for having me on. Raider Nation, I just love to be able to get on here and chop it up with you guys. So shout out to all the Raider Nation that subscribe to the channel, man. Much love to all of you guys.
Hey, SC, I see you in there, man. Hey, come in and chop it up with us for a sec. I think you'd get along with SC Experience, Baby Mark. I call him Baby Mark, but he's got
I call him AKA the Kid.
Oh yeah, they got a bunch of names for him. What is it? He looks a lot younger than he is, and he's 20. He's a college student. He looks like he's the paper boy. I mean, but good guy, real intelligent, knows his stuff too. And then they call him Lunchables. Anyone else?
I like this guy already. We need to bring him on.
Yeah, I just put the link in the chat. I hope he can come on. I just put the link up here. So if Eric, if you want to come on, man, come hang out with us, man. I'll call you by your
Well,
name.
if he comes on, don't be surprised if he gives me some razzing, because his Dodgers did beat my Giants in a bad fashion over this last few days.
Oh man, I know there's a lot of hurt feelings out there. There were a lot of guys that are Dodgers or Giants fans that were.
There's both sides. That's why my word. Okay, we need Raider Joe because he's a Giants fan too.
Yeah, Joe ain't gonna show up. That's why. Okay, now I know Joe ain't gonna show up.
Casper, salute, brother.
Hey, Casper, how you doing, man?
Casper needs to come on too. Casper has got some auto stories that he can share with us, and I've been pumping him up to try to get him to come on the show. I want to hear those stories. We talked about it in chat, but he should share it to the nation.
Yeah, well, you know what? Like I said, I put the link in the chat. I'll put it in again. SC Experience or Casper, come on in, man. I'd love to have you guys come chop it up.
So, Jack, what's your honest opinion on Josh McDaniels?
I'll be honest with you. When we first hired him on board, I wasn't so excited about it. But, after hearing what he says and I've seen what the Raiders have done, I'm extremely excited. So the positives, top 5 red zone offense, which we've been lacking at for years. Always a top 10, offense. And it's like, we look under the Gruden. Gruden is like it almost reminds me back of like the old Super Bowl days. It's like with, when he went over to the Bucks and, we played against them, they're calling out our plays. I feel like, the spider wide banana is like, it's old and it's outdated. So a fresh scheme
It's right.
is very exciting to me this year. So I'm pumped. And this regime is like there. And I've said this before. You haven't been here for this, but it's the best offseason since 2001. I mean,
yeah,
I'm excited.
That's exactly what I've been promoting on my channel. Is that for the first time in a long time, like I see Raider Nation freaking out, right, on some moves that they were making and why we aren't being more aggressive in free agency. This was in the first week of free agency. And I was just like, man, be patient. Like, let these people spend big dollars on people that are going to not really fit into their schemes. Like, let all that go by. And I made a video and I took a lot of criticism for it, and it's documented so Raider Nation can go check it. I said, be patient because we're freeing up money to go get Davante Adams. And everybody's saying Packers are never going to trade him. They're never going to trade him. And literally the next day, I get an update on my phone and it says Davante Adams is going to be a Raider. And I'm like,
wow, that's a great call.
You got to be patient. And you kind of got to look at the writing on the walls. I knew immediately when Davante said he's not going to sign that franchise tag, I knew Like I knew I was like, oh, he's getting moved. And
See,
Yeah, I felt like that when he bought that mansion in Las Vegas. So as soon as he bought that mansion, it's like you may be a Northern California kid. You're not going to go buy a mansion in Las Vegas if there isn't something going down. So it's like as soon as I heard that, Carr and him are having conversations.
Off season, he spends a lot of time with Derek Carr. That mansion could have been just for that. I mean, Tom Brady bought a mansion. Everybody speculated. Okay, people like to go to Vegas, and they buy houses all over the place. But the thing is, when this all started, the Ziegler, the McZ movement, at first I didn't like it. And then I saw it, and it sounded. I'm sorry. I've been in a meeting where there was a corporate takeover, and that's exactly what it felt like when those two did the first press conference. I didn't like it. And then nothing happened right away. Like first day, everybody's like the tampering period. Everybody's jumping on stuff. And I'm like, we're not moving. We're not moving. Everybody's freaking out. I'm sitting there going, these motherfuckers are doing some big shit.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna eat my words. I'm gonna eat my words because I was more excited about McDaniels than I was Ziegler. So
I was not excited about
with Ziegler being, McDaniels' roommate and like buddy. I'm like, okay, is this just like a friend hire? Because Mayock did some good drafting when it wasn't Gruden interfering with Mayock. I mean, that jersey that you just showed is definitely a Mayock, selection. So I thought Mayock, could have stayed. I would have liked him to have stayed, but they're doing different types of moves. So I see if we go back in time, let's go to Reggie Mackenzie. He had to clean up a lot of Al Davis's mess. Of extending guys for too many years out, move the salary cap back, move it back. So it got to a point where it caught up with the team. We're losing guys like Charles Woodson, Richard Seymour. We're having to cut Hall of Fame players to reduce the cap. So when Ziegler came over, and the first thing we saw was James. James's contract. It's not a huge contract. I think it was $4 million or something like that per year, but extended it an extra 3 years out, past the time. I'm like going, are we going to start moving, money back? We're going back to the old ways, which I don't mind if it's in moderation.
Yeah.
Just don't make it the normal thing, every single year. I don't want to go back to that salary cap hell again.
Yeah.
But anyway, the thing is, I was saying before was when Al lost it in the end and made a lot of bad mistakes, and it cost us for decades. But when they first came in, I didn't like it at all. But then we went and started picking up players like Chandler Jones. And I'm like, oh, wait. And then Devontae, when they put him on that they were going to put him on the waiver, or what's that thing called?
Franchise tag?
Franchise tag. Yep. When they did that, I was like, we might get it. Because I kind of lost hope. Okay, we're probably not going to get him. They're gonna make him the most highest paid wide receiver in football, and then they franchise tagged him, and I went, "Oh, we might get him," and bam! Everybody was like, "We got him," and then all of a sudden, Dave Ziegler, McZ is like, "I'm good. We're good.
Well, I kind of felt the writing was on the wall as soon as we look at Aaron Rodgers' contract.
Yep.
I mean, that's a mammoth contract.
That was a huge sign. And both of them guys aren't going to get paid.
Hey, Holly Tanner, how are you?
What's going on, Holly?
Salute Jack. Salute Raider Ray.
Hey, I got to go back. So Nightmare, salute, brother. Love you. And then there was a question. AE. So you said, I guess Quinn, I guess you're saying Queen, made a comment on the Docs and Stu show. I didn't get a chance to see that. I was working today, brother. So if you can post in the comment, that'd be great.
That's one I'm not going to see till tomorrow because I was working today. But if you could put that comment in, we'd love to hear it. Let's see. You guys all watched the game when your thoughts Brady admitted it was a fumble. Fuck him. It's 20 years ago, man. Fuck Brady. Okay.
Well, it's kind of funny. You guys watched that interview, right, with Woodson and Brady, way back in the day, and he would never admit it.
No, he's a chicken shit.
No, he has an image to carry, bro. That started his whole dynasty. That one play started that entire dynasty.
It did.
He knows that. He owes Raider Nation everything. Raider Nation gave him his career. He knows that. So he watches what he says when it comes to the silver and black.
The referees gave him his fucking career. Fuck it, I'm still mad about that shit.
I didn't, to this day, like, watching that play at the time, I never heard before what the Tucker rule was until that play.
Right.
Exactly.
They pulled it out the back of the book. They had to dust it off. They're like, oh, rule 6,333. You know what I mean? Like, they pulled that one out.
The thing is, a real tuck, he didn't do a tuck.
No.
According to what the rules described, he didn't do a tuck. So, wait a minute. What about, the Raiders president being fired today? Yeah, nobody's talking about that, so there's not much to discuss. We just know he's gone.
Yeah, there's something going on with that,
there's a lot of things.
Their human resources vice president's gone now too.
There were a few people gone.
So I'm wondering if we're going back and we're tying something up in the past with Gruden, and I don't know. It just it's kind of baffling.
Wi-Fi Willie, I believe, said this is all the aftermath of the Gruden firing, and it was coming. A lot of guys are gone now. So I don't know what's going on, but they're cleaning the house.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's like, when he took over as interim, and then he did good enough, and they made him the president, and now he's gone. And it's like,
right,
kind of cray. But it also too, like you mentioned, Wi-Fi. It's like maybe it is the Patriot regime. Maybe they got guys that they're thinking about bringing over from there. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, it's like somebody's got control who's handling business, and I think Mark Davis is listening to someone he trusts.
I was thinking about it actually today before we even came on, and something I like that Josh McDaniels is doing this time that he didn't do in his time in Denver. Don't get me wrong. I think this is a coach that's learned a lot in those 10 years. If you look at the difference, though, look at the high quality professionals that he's put around him so he can honestly focus on the offense. Like, you can tell Josh McDaniels wants to get in Derek Carr's pocket, wants to get with Devontae, Waller, Renfro, and he just wants to focus solely on this offense. And you got guys like Patrick Graham, you've got Dave Ziegler holding down personnel, and Champ Kelly. Champ Kelly does not get enough credit. He is like the guy behind the scenes that he works some magic, and he's extremely well respected in the league. So look for the Raiders, because I think Champ Kelly is going to be a GM in the National Football League. So look for us to even get those third round compensations too for the rules that they put in place. The second he gets named a GM, Raiders are actually going to be getting a third round pick. So could this even be a future ploy that Josh McDaniels did? You know what I mean? Like, they're getting everything they can, brother.
I mean, the thing about Josh McDaniels, everybody talks about his days in Denver and he went back. But the thing is, he said when he came back, I didn't know people.
Yeah.
Okay, so he learned a lot. All of us growing. Where were you in your head 10 years ago? Not the place you're at now. You're not in the place you're at now. He learned in 10 years. So I think I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Ziegler, I got my trust. In Ziegler, I trust.
Well, look what he did when the first time in Denver. I mean, he moved his starting quarterback, pretty much right away. It's like, and now you look at he's 100% behind Carr. I mean, he's shown that from day one. He's like, I want to get to know him. We got to talk. We get to know each other, people.
Right.
And look what Carr did. I mean, and I was even questioning that contract in the beginning just because of the money, not the salary cap. I would thought about the opposite direction. More guaranteed money, less off the top, more players. But you know what? They set themselves up. So it's a 1-year real deal. And then after that, they can renegotiate again. They can do whatever they want.
Yeah. But again, what we're doing now is smart. And a lot of fans are not used to that. It's been a long time since we did things in a smart manner.
We're doing a mix. We're going from a mix from the Al Davis old days, like move money back, to like doing no money back at all. Now we're doing a mix of it. So this is a time where we can be shining. So it makes sense. We're in a position now to where we can make a run. So I understand it. Hey, SC. What's up, bro?
It's Eric. Hey, Raider Ray, bro.
What's good,
hello,
brother?
Hello, hi. Nice to meet you, Raider Ray. What's good?
No, I brought him on because I just stumbled on his channel. I was like, okay, I don't know this guy. I checked it out and I was like, oh shit, that was pretty good. So I went to the next video and the next video. Next time, I'm like, subscribe, all notifications. That bell is blacked out. And I was like, and then I made a comment. He commented back, and we started talking in the chat, or afterwards in the comments.
I told you about him, OG. I told you, brother.
What?
About SC.
No, I'm talking about Raider Ray. No, I'm talking about Raider Ray.
That's SC. Okay.
I've been subscribed to SC, but I'm talking about Raider Ray, which was just this past week. And I was like, we started talking. I'm like, hey, I want you on the show, man.
Yeah, I'm glad you're on, Ray, man.
Yeah, this guy knows his stuff big time. So what's up, Eric? What's going on with you, man?
Nothing much, man. I wanted to be on your show real quick. It has been a while since we've been on the panel together, so I came in here and chop it up a little bit.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I wear my sunglasses at night.
You already know. It's my signature aid.
There you go. But yeah, no, we were just talking about what's going on in the team now and what we think of everything. And the McZ world is the shit, man. I'm sorry. I'll take a double order of McZ and a side of fries, bro.
You guys think we're done adding receivers or no?
You know what? I don't know. I mean, we've still got Hunter Renfro's contract we got to get done, and I don't know if that's going to happen until after June 21st.
You know what? I've got a name in mind, and I'll chop it up with you guys and see what you guys think about it. Now, look, hear me out. He hasn't had a lot of production, but he is coming from New England. I would not mind, because he is going to be released, N'Keal Harry. He's 24 years old, and I just feel like giving him a new change of scenery. Some of these guys are young, and when they come in the league, man, they don't find their feet at all. And going into an organization like New England, it's tough, right? You got one of the most well-known sports franchises, playing with Coach Belichick. Some of these guys, man, they take a minute. I think N'Keal Harry in the silver and black, not saying he's going to be 1,000-yard receiver, nothing like that, but he is that big body possession type of receiver that I just feel like could come in, wear that number 15 jersey that Derek Carr likes to connect with. And I think that this is a guy that can fit in this offense actually pretty well. And he knows the offense.
And we can get him cheap?
Cheap. He's $1.87 million this year. That's it.
Ooh.
That is cheap.
So it's low risk,
intriguing.
Low risk, high reward. That's kind of like my guy I'm keeping an eye on. Like, just from a distance, I just kind of feel that. When I seen that New England was going to move him during the trade, I was like, all right, this is a guy I'm going to keep my eye on. Because
even if he motivates Brian Edwards.
Yeah. I just bring him in for training camp. I don't care.
Right.
See what he can do.
So Anthony Estrada answered that question you asked, Jack. What was said on the live? I believe it was Robert Pena asked Queen, are you going to buy that Dodger jersey? She said, oh, no, I'm going to need a donation because she wasn't buying that garbage.
All right, I know Queen's probably not here, but I got to give Queen a salute for that. Way to go, sister.
And guess who she lost the bet to? Just
nice.
Tell her I got a jersey for her if she needs one.
Hey, Beantown. Hey, man. I saw you. Hey,
get her a Jock Peterson. Maybe she'll wear that one.
Hey, Beantown Breakdown. Hey, man. I saw that video, Bobby. Yeah, man. I know you're just hanging out doing your thing, but you're still doing your thing, bro. And I know you going through chemo and still putting out videos, bro. And I'm telling you, you're gonna whip this thing. You're gonna whip this thing. I can tell. It's like not even a question. There's no question about it. You're still bringing that energy. You're beating this thing. Just saying.
So let's go back to Ray's question. Because the money's right. The money is right, and he knows the system, so I can see that. But in reality, the Raiders don't need a big body, slow receiver. We need to get another guy who's got some speed on the outside. Is what we really need. We need another stretch guy. We don't have that. That's something that this team needs.
Yeah, we do.
Or you're not talking to the kid who I don't even think will make the roster. Might be a practice squad player. Are you talking about him?
We got a guy already in our. We already had a guy.
Tyron Johnson. That is my sleeper on this roster. I'm telling you.
Training. Yeah, he was on the practice squad, but this kid, he's been developing. That's all he's been doing. I mean, he may get his shot this year.
Yeah. No, look no further than Tyron Johnson. He's
That's
a tall,
Wesley.
lengthy receiver. So I was at the Indian Colts game, and I was there at pre-warm-up. And even while they were warming up, I was like watching. I was like, man, who is this kid? Because he didn't get a lot of playing time yet. And it was on that stretch, those final winning game stretches that we put together last season. So I'm watching warm-ups, and I'm watching this kid just fly down the field, catching everything that was thrown to him. I'm like, who is this kid? And it's Tyron Johnson. And when you go back, even look at his film when he played with the Chargers, this guy can get behind defenders. He's a big play threat guy. He's got a decent frame on him, and he has a lot of speed. He is my sleeper to make that roster spot. I know we brought in a lot of competition, but keep your guys' eyes on Tyron Johnson.
Okay, so this comment, a lot of higher-ups, business dudes quit before the season last year. Yeah, there was a reason for that. They were asked to leave. Here's what happened. It caused Mark Davis some tax trouble. They didn't underpay. They overpaid taxes, and Davis was out fighting to get that back, so he booted all of them. And that's what happened with those guys last year.
So let's go to the Ray's question. So, OG and SE, what do you guys' thought process on it?
Of what?
Harry.
I think on who? On what?
On N'Keal Harry.
N'Keal Harry.
From New England.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. I missed that question. What was it?
Just your thoughts on N'Keal Harry, which
about the Raiders bringing him over.
Yeah, his
salary's about $1.8 million. I mean, it's a cheap contract.
No, I think that's a good idea. I know people are talking about us bringing in Bradbury, and I don't like it. And people are like gonna bash me, but I'm sorry. Bradbury is a zone guy. We're doing too much. We're gonna be doing press man coverage, and press man, he sucks. There it is. That's my thoughts on Bradbury.
But it's going to be all mixed up. I mean, that's the thing about Graham, which I can't put my finger on. We have no idea, which is good, because if we have no clue as Raider fans, opposing defenses aren't going to have a lot of clues either. So I like the Bradbury move.
Sin can play both, and if we have to go to a zone coverage, then and Bradbury's on a team, we throw him out there. Yeah, but if we're press man, no. Do not.
That's what I was worried about with Nate Hobbs, if I'm being honest, because Nate Hobbs, as a rookie, comes in and explodes onto the scene in that cover 3 system, super heavy zone guy. What does he look like in a man system? Is he going to be the same player? And a player like that's developed that kind of success, I wouldn't want to change too much of what he does well. You know what I mean?
I think each player should be used to their strength. Oh, wait, didn't Patrick Graham say that?
Yep.
Yeah, and that's the thing with anybody that we bring in. For me, when I think of people that get brought in, it's for a reason, because they're going to be utilized to their strengths. And that's why on the Bradbury situation, the only way I'll bring him in is if it's cheaper than what he's been asking and what the media is saying. And I don't know if you guys seen, I know Jack watches every time I'm on, because I'm usually on late. I'm an advocate for Mullen out. I'm admitted here too. I've been. That surgery was kind of where it turned me like, okay, maybe my point on Mullen might be more into the light. But in reality, I think the more corners we got in that DB room, the more competition, the better people would play and light a fire underneath them. So that's.
And if we got guys who can go to the zone and they can't play press man, pull them out for that. If you're going to go press man play, put the guys in who can do it. And if we're going to go to a zone, switch it up, put the guys in who can do it. Because Trayvon Mullen can't play zone. Trayvon Mullen cannot play off man. He's horrible at off man, and he gets tansy, and then we get penalties.
Well, don't forget, OG, they did try to bring Hayward back, and Hayward didn't want to do it. So he is definitely not a man-to-man. He's a zone guy. So Bradbury's younger. He's a better version of Hayward in reality, a longer version. So I can see why they want to bring him in.
We're going to see a lot more.
Right, if they bring him in, that's great, but he's asking for a lot of money for just being a zone coverage guy and only being out there half the time, you know what I mean, or a third of the time, or whatever we're going to do,
Well, and SC is right, with Mullins doing his tactical thing about waiting until after the draft to get his surgery done versus he was out pretty much half of the season. Could have got his surgery done way back then to be ready for camp and everything else. I don't know how long he's going to be out. But that was a tactical thing for him, to to remain on the team.
Yeah,
Mullen's one
you
of those
guys
guys
watched Ngakoue comments on you. Yeah, we talked about that, man. All we got to do is hand off and run the ball at Ngakoue, and we'll win the game. I ain't worried about his comments. He just hurt. Yeah, okay, he wanted to be a Raider. Okay, I could see he was hurt by it, but if he's going to make threats, okay, we'll just run the ball at you, and then we'll see how your revenge game goes.
Well, he's a prideful man, and you know he was a good Raider.
He wanted to be a Raider.
We all liked him as a Raider. You know, there's nothing against him, but you know what? His pride is hurt. So I can see him saying, hey, you know what? I'm going to come back at you guys. Why not? Okay. You know what? He wanted to be here. He wanted to be with these guys. So when he starts going up against Miller, we'll see how he does.
Yeah. Hey, Ray, what do you think about that Bradbury?
You know, I'm kind of with you on it. I'm not as high as a lot of Raider Nation is on him. I feel like he's a name that's kind of getting a ton of hype right now. And when I watched the film, yeah, if you hand select some plays here and there, I could see why. He does have talent. I'm not going to sit here and say he doesn't. But
right.
But we are going to see a lot more man coverage in this system. That's not to say, though, that we're not going to be playing zone. So, look, if Mullen's out, if he's out indefinitely, I think I don't want to use the word forced, but you got to take a look at him. And not saying that it's not a pick that I'm like, oh, Raiders hit a home run but I think if Mullen's out, it's something that you might want to kick tires on because he is familiar with Patrick Graham. He can communicate with the secondary. So I'm looking more down the road, like why this could be a good thing to get that back end of the defense a little bit caught up with terminology and all that. But from a skill set perspective, he's a good player, but I think he's getting a lot of hype right now.
He needs to be able to look at the quarterback and play that zone. He really does. Raider Ray, you watch baseball, my man?
I actually don't. So I was actually in boxing and mixed martial arts, and I grew up an avid Raider fan. So my knowledge is pressed towards mixed martial arts, boxing, and Las Vegas Raiders, man. So that's where I stay in my lane. I don't try to get out of my lane on something I don't know much about.
Yeah, see, I used to be a Dodgers fan, and when I lived in L.A., I'd go out to Chavez Ravine and watch the games. I like baseball. But if you're watching baseball on the TV, that's just a way to take a nap on the couch, bro. And that's my thing. Seriously.
You watch those Dodgers, man, they'll put you to sleep, bro.
Dude, I used to know, dude, trust me. To this day, I still would love to have, I would love to have an Eric Gagne jersey. I loved Gagne.
I will say this. I'll give SE this, man. I did have two guys, Steve Sachs, first base, and then Piazza, a catcher. And those are two like super awesome players.
Right, but come on, Gagne was the ultimate closer. Eric Gagne, it was it. Game over. Game over, Gagne. Come out and he's shutting your ass out with the last inning or two.
So who are you guys thinking is going to be the year two kind of breakouts from last year's draft? Who do you see take on a bigger role?
Actually, I see a lot of breakout players on our team because we'll be switching that defense up. Okay. I hate to say this, and I know they didn't pick up his option, but I think Cleveland Farrell is going to show y'all why we drafted him. I really think he's going to have his year this year, and they'll be extending him next year. Okay. Let's see.
What about you, Jack?
I think another player that's going to break out is going to be, we're going to see a lot more of Divine Diablo.
He made my list.
And there was another guy we picked up on defense last year, drafted.
Trevon Moehrig?
Oh, Moehrig? No, you ain't going to hear shit from Moehrig. You know why? Nobody's stupid enough to throw his way.
Attaboy. I was hoping you were going to go that route.
Okay, you ain't going to hear a thing about him. And that's what, if you don't hear anything, your safety's name being called, that means nobody was stupid enough to throw that way. This guy is locked down, and he's solid.
Did you guys notice last year? Like, he was like the magic eraser. Like, anytime anything got into the open field, like that dude's tackling, you do not see a ton of missed tackles from Merrick. He cleans plays, broken plays up. Fantastic. As a rookie, it just jumped off the film.
He does his job.
Yeah.
I just hope that in the off season he goes out and trains with Hunter Renfrow and learns how to catch some interceptions instead of, dropping them and batting them down. Like, go out there and snag some. For Hunter Renfrow to show you how to do that.
Your take on Cleveland Farrell, man, that's a pretty bold one.
It is a bold one, I know, and people are like, Cleveland Farrell's trash. But you know what? I think in this system, he's going to shine, and everybody's going, oh, yeah, I knew he'd be good.
Either way, I think Farrell's going to be pretty much done with this team. I mean, honestly, I don't see him back after this year.
Okay, let's see how his year goes.
I think his year is going to be better. I mean, well, it can't get much worse. So, I mean, it's going to be better. I think when his hand's not in the dirt, if he's going to come off, hands off the ground, I think he's going to be a better player. But, I mean, are they going to play him a lot more since it's going to be a 3-tech more than a 4-tech? He's going to be playing, on the inside a little bit more on those passing downs. I still see him as third down.
Okay.
I don't see him on any other plays besides third down. Do you guys?
I don't know. I don't know what their plan is. I'm not Bradbury. I'm not Graham. But I'll tell you right now, I want to see what he's got in store for us. Now, if we don't see a lot of Cleveland Farrell, yeah, he's gone next year. But if we see a lot of Cleveland Farrell pulling off sacks and busting up stuff, then everybody's going to be buying their Farrell jerseys and saying, oh, yeah, I didn't think he was a bust.
There is a comment that, at least I want to address it, but is Aslan, I believe I'm saying it right, but how he said that too bad the Raiders don't have a QB. And I get why some
What? Wait, where? Let me find that. Too bad the Raiders don't have a QB.
So I just want to.
That's why you need a mod right there to.
No. I don't care. No.
I know.
I like to talk about it because
everybody has their thing. Go ahead, man. You want to address it, Ray?
Yeah. So, in the National Football League, to go through what the Las Vegas Raiders went through, not only as historically as a franchise in the last 20 years, right? But last season alone, the John Gruden, the Henry Ruggs, all the injuries decimated to the receiving core, Darren Waller going down. And for this man to put a team on his back, he didn't play perfect, right? But for this man to put a team and be a leader in the locker room, a true leader, not many quarterbacks would have held this locker room together. And Derek Carr does that. There's not many other guys I can say in the National Football League that I'd want leading my team. Yeah, are there guys that are more physically talented? Of course there are. But Derek Carr he has that locker room. They have his back. And what he did with just Hunter Renfrow, you guys got to think. He had an outside receiver as Zay Jones, and I like Zay. But Zay is not a true number 2. He's not a true number 1. Okay? All these receivers have a 35-year-old Deshaun Jackson, and the Raiders win the last 4 games and make their play into the playoffs and then lose by a single touchdown to the team that goes to the Super Bowl. I mean, what more do you want out of Derek? I mean, I feel like as a fan base, we've run this dude's name in the mud. And I don't even feel like we deserve a quarterback like him because all he does is stay loyal to the silver and black. He doesn't want to be with anybody else. In the moment that we lose Derek Carr and we fill him in and we're searching for a quarterback for the next 5 to 10 years, you're going to be grateful for what you had.
I think Derek Carr has never had a number 1 wide receiver.
No.
Ever. Amari Cooper was not a number 1 wide receiver. He still ain't. Okay.
You could make the argument that his best receiver was Michael Crabtree. Like they just had a connection that was just it was fun to watch.
A number 1 wide receiver?
Nope.
No. So Derek Carr has never had a number 1 wide receiver. Now he has the number 1 wide receiver.
And I can even say right now, even though he's a slot, Renfrow is probably even better than both those guys. So,
look,
but he's a slot go. So
Derek Carr, the Devontae Adams saying, "Oh yeah, well you can show Renfrow, your routes," and he goes, "He can show me."
Look, when Derek Carr is going to be hitting north of 35 touchdowns this season and 4,500 passing yards, everybody's going to start getting on that Derek Carr bandwagon. Because I'm telling you, if we keep playing how we play in these recent years and we start getting in these close games, like The
I
Raiders
don't think we're going to be as close in
I
the
don't
games
either.
this year.
I think those games that were close last year, I think you're going to start seeing the Raiders winning by 10, 13. Like those, they're going to separate themselves a lot more. They're just
Right.
they're more.
Yeah.
They have more talent.
Yeah,
Dude, they
and
do.
exactly. I just put the link in the chat. Somebody wants to come in. Hey, we got somebody. Hey, guys.
Hey, Ray, I agree with your entire take, brother. I totally do.
Raider Ben, what's going on, man?
Oh, Raider Ben,
What's up, fellas?
bud?
What's good? What's good?
What's up? Salute, bro.
Hey, man,
Chilling,
listen.
bro.
I want everybody here to know Jack Kenna will not start a Raiders channel. I've tried to talk him into it. He won't have it. Raider Ben, you got to get out. You want to follow Raider Ben at Raider Ben. I'm sorry. What's it? Something podcast now. The Raiders.
The Just Win Baby podcast.
Just Win Baby podcast. Go check out Raider Ben. If you got a thin skin, don't go on Saturday night. That's all I'm saying. It's been warned. All right. We also got down here, we got Eric at SC Experience. Okay. Go to his channel. You definitely want to check out his content. He likes the late nights because he's on the West Coast. And then over on the top, across from on the next other side of Jack, got a newer content creator, Raider Ray. Guy goes in depth, great stuff, really interesting, in-depth commentary on the Raiders. He knows his shit, and his videos are not that long, man. It's crazy. Like, you're going to want to watch all of them because they're only a few minutes long, but they're really highly well-made, intelligent content. So anybody in here, subscribe to these guys' channels. You know, you know what? Subscribe to mine if you're not subscribed, damn it.
Yeah, stop pimping all of our channels.
Yeah,
Shit. Let's
no
pimp
kidding.
the OG's channel. Shit.
Facts,
Yeah, I
facts.
ain't pimping my channel. If you want to sign,
Hey, I already pimped your channel anyways, bro. It's shared on my channel. Just be ready for trolls to come over here and start fucking
oh yeah,
with you, bro.
I'm good. I'm good.
You know the trolls are gonna come over here in full effect.
Yeah, but see, I'm good with trolls because here's the thing. I had one troll the whole time I've been here. It was a Colts fan, and he won't talk to me no more because he tried to say some shit. I talk some shit at him, and he won't talk to me no more.
Well, you got one good troll. I like Hefe, dude. Hefe's a good guy. We always chit chat like on all the different shows between me and him, and like we're watching all the Raider content. He's over on our shows more than he's on his shows.
I don't mind Hefe. I like trolls because if you're going to be a content creator, there's certain. It's not about the subscribers or any of that. You have to get porn bots, Russian porn bots. You got to get trolls. Okay, those are your real earmarks, knowing you're doing the right thing.
And Hefe's here, so salute, bro. Salute, Hefe.
Yeah, I don't mind Hefe. He don't bother me. Hefe does his thing. He throws an opinion, but I don't care. I don't care. I'm not going to get offended by anybody. I've been a telemarketer for 37 years. My skin is.
I told Hefe he needs to start his own show.
Yeah. Are there Kansas City content creators?
There
Yeah,
are.
there's plenty of them.
There's a few.
There's plenty of them, bro.
They need to have kind of like what Wi-Fi does, like, do an AFC West show and another one. It's like, get some of the fans that are in these shows and get them all together and let them talk smack like we do on West Coast Dugout with SE.
Actually, they do. There's Broncos have an MRHRC network. They had Wi-Fi Willie on as the Raiders fan for their Wild Wild West show, which they have somebody from everybody in the West. And now they brought on Captain Jack.
Oh, they did. They brought Captain on. Oh, nice.
They're bringing Captain Jack in there, which was cool. I found that out last night. But yeah, there's actually a Chargers content creator. Shit.
Who is it? Is it one of Phillip Rivers' kids?
Yeah,
I don't know, man. He represents 5% of the Chargers.
Because the only fans of the Chargers are Phillip Rivers' kids. That's about it. And Justin Herbert's soon to be 17 kids, because Justin Herbert ain't nothing but a young version of Phillip Rivers, bro. If you just want to be honest.
Oh Lord.
And I think he's softer than Phillip Rivers, bro. At least Phillip Rivers wasn't soft. Justin Herbert's a crybaby, bro, begging for timeouts and shit.
Wait. I'm sorry. I got to keep my eye on this thing because somebody sneaks in. And we got Rafael.
Hey, Rafael.
So, you want to subscribe to Raphael's channel also? We did a roundtable 12 days ago.
I'm sorry, guys. I be talking shit too much sometimes. I like to talk shit. I'm a trash talker.
Oh. No, but Raphael.
I don't want to disrespect nobody's channel. That's all.
No, Raphael did a roundtable like 10 days ago, and there were a bunch of Raiders content creators.
That was 1 week ago.
Yeah?
Yeah, that was 1 week ago, just like 10 days. And probably when the season starts with the Raiders, I'm trying to do a Silver and Black Wednesday for all Raiders fans.
There you go. But he had a bunch of content creators on there, and it was fun. It was fun to do the roundtable. There were a bunch of guys on there, but anyway. So, Ben, what do you think about this new regime change stuff?
I couldn't hear you. Say again.
What do you think about our regime change?
I think if that rumor about Mark Davis that came out today, bro, Mark Davis is sickening, bro. If that's true, I don't think Mark Bouldin's gonna go out there and lie, or whoever that dude was is gonna go out there and lie, that president or whatever, bro. But he just made a pretty blatant statement, made it public about Mark Davis, and if that's true, bro, that's pretty scummy.
What is it?
What he say?
I didn't hear that part.
Something in terms of like Mark Davis has created a hostile work environment. He's been very hostile towards women and all kinds of shit, bro. It's all over Twitter. You guys can go see it. I don't know it word for word, but yeah, something like that. Yeah. And that Mark Bouldin stood up for his. He said that he stood up for his rights and called him out that he shouldn't be doing that and shit. So Mark Davis fired him.
Dang.
You know what? I'm having a hard time believing that from the guy who said if Colin Kaepernick came in, I'd welcome him with open arms. And the first CEO of any NFL team was Amy Trask for the Raiders. I have a hard time believing that he's got a hostile work environment towards women. I just can't buy it.
Well, and he said anyone who does domestic violence against women, you're not going to be a Raider. So
right. Another thing, it's a policy of his. You commit domestic
If I'm not
violence.
mistaken, though, Tom Cable had a case of domestic violence.
He did.
He put hands on a woman.
Tom Cable did. I have the message if you want me to share my screen, but the message is here. I have the
he's got the letter from the president.
Yes, he's got the text.
The full text of him talking about
He could throw it in the backstage, bro, and then you could just add it to the stream.
I can only have 6 things on the stream.
I think of
Why
all
are these
the
AirPods
owners,
doing
though,
that?
that Mark Davis putting out a lot of fires, bro. Like Mark Davis, since the whole John Gruden thing, that dude's got to watch his back.
How do we blow this up?
Let me see if I can zoom in. Give me a second.
The Las Vegas Raiders have committed.
Oh, there you go.
yeah, see, it's super small, man. And for any of us who are on phones,
Yeah, I'm not
Okay,
a 57-year-old
Don't
eyes.
read it?
Can
You
read
want me to read it?
yeah, read it.
Yeah, somebody read it.
Today, Mark Davis terminated my employment as president of the Las Vegas Raiders. I have committed almost 18 years of my life to the success of the Raiders as general counsel and president. I take that responsibility very seriously, which is why multiple written complaints from employees that Mark created a hostile work environment and engaged in other potential misconduct caused me grave concern. When Mark was confronted about these issues, he was dismissive and did not demonstrate the warranted level of concern. Given this, I informed the NFL of these issues and of Mark's unacceptable response. Soon thereafter, I was fired in retaliation for raising these concerns. I firmly stand by my decision to elevate these issues to protect the organization and its female employees. I remain committed to doing everything in my power to support the Raiders and the Las Vegas community I now call home. I have retained counsel and will no further comment at this time.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's wow.
Yeah, that came out about
that is
20
a
minutes
wow.
ago, like right before I came in here.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
When I first read it, I'm like, 2 things. Number one, if that's like full blown true, That's messed up. Same as Raider Ben, like
Yeah.
that's effed
That's
up.
messed
And
up.
Yeah, it is
second
messed
of
up
all,
if
it's
true.
like everything is going good for us, and then just something like this comes out
It's
of nowhere
always
once
gotta be
again.
that.
All right, if this
Yeah.
this could be one of two things. It could be true, or it could be disgruntled employee decides to pull some shit.
Mhm.
Hey, we don't know. We don't know. But I'm going to tell you right now, it will come out. It always comes into the light, bro.
And
It
what
just
does that
sucks,
even
bro.
mean? You know, like what does that even mean? That like he created an unhealthy. Like I want to know what that environment is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if any of you guys have ever worked into a hostile work environment, but I work in construction, bro, and I've worked in a pretty hostile work environment, bro, and that shit's no fun to go to work. I'll tell you that much.
I worked
We
at
had to get the
AT&T,
union
that was
involved in all
fucking
kinds of shit.
hostile.
Yeah, we had to get the union involved in all kinds of shit, bro, because it was bad, bro. So like, if it was any kind of hostile environment, bro, where you feel tension when you go to work, bro, that's no fun. You know what I
I'm
mean?
gonna let it
Dude,
play out.
I worked at AT&T, and it was so hostile. A year after I started, I became a union steward to help keep people's jobs because they were forcing people out of their jobs so they didn't get full benefits. It was crazy.
Yeah. So, bro, I don't know the truth behind it, bro, but you know, off the negative shit, bro, I've said it before. I love how Mark Davis and Dave Ziegler came in and they recognized the fact that the Raiders are on the verge of, you know, doing something and being a competitive team in this league. They did the complete opposite of what John Gruden did. Instead of building on it, John Gruden tore everything down. This regime is smarter. They see everything they're building up. They're addressing the weaknesses, you know, and I think, you know, you got Josh McDaniel. You had Josh McDaniels, Devontae Adams, and Chandler Jones, bro. You know, if right now as a coach, if there's any coach that I would rather have, it would be an offensive coach. I think we got one of the better ones in the league in terms of scheming up plays.
Yeah.
And there we have three people on our offense that teams can't guard by themselves. You know what I mean? They're going to have to shade coverage, and they're not going to be able to do that. And let's not sleep, you know, on Brian Edwards, because Brian Edwards was hurt pretty much his entire rookie year. Now he's going to have like fifth corners on him, you know what I'm saying, like bums on him. We're going to see him, you know, how far he really develops.
Yeah, no kidding.
And in my opinion, this might be a little bit more deadlier than Henry Ruggs because we might not have the speed. We have the guys that can get open. And what are you going to do with Josh Jacobs? You're going to stuff the box and try to stop him? Because if you do that, then our wide receivers are going to go crazy. If you guard our wide receivers, Josh Jacobs is going to go crazy. So looking forward to it, man.
Devontae said
absolutely.
He was in that sit-down interview with Eric Allen, and he said that he had a conversation with Josh McDaniels, and he was talking about it was just a little nugget, and I picked up on it when he was saying that Josh McDaniels is even talking about changing up things that he does to better suit my skill set. And whenever you hear a coach that's willing to change what he does, his philosophy, because with John Gruden, we all know that it was John's system. And if you didn't fit John's system, you probably weren't going to make it out in this offense. Now you get a Josh McDaniels that's like, look, you do this real well. We're going to adjust. We're going to adapt. And we're going to put you in a position to succeed. And I'd love to hear that, especially with a player like Devontae Adams.
Yeah, you know what? This system, this offense, if you're a defensive coordinator, you got to play the Raiders next week. What the fuck are you going to do?
Exactly. How do you game plan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up, Rafucho?
It's a top 3 offense, guys. You know, honestly.
Well, I think you have to double Devontae off the jump, and I think teams are just going to rely on how they played him last year.
You have the number 2 man on Waller, the number 3 man on Renfro, the number 4 man on Brian Edwards. Brian Edwards is going to have one of those career years where we're going, we're good.
Well, he's going to have that Carr effect. Carr's going to get him paid is what's going to happen.
We're gonna see Brian Edwards of South Carolina next year.
Yeah,
watch, bro.
No kidding.
Right. But,
the one that we all thought we were going to get off rip.
And if we do use that speed receiver that we have and send him flying out there, now he gets the number 4 guy and Brian Edwards gets the 5th. Dude, I love a 5th. Trust me. But they're screwed. They are screwed. I see our bottom this year, our bottom level of the season going 12-5. That's our floor. Okay. If we split with the rest of our division, we're 12-5.
Okay.
If we sweep the Broncos, we will, because we brought in they brought in their quarterback and we brought in his kryptonite. We're going 14-3. And if the Chiefs fall and I think they will. Compared to the rest of the division, we can get them. We're 14-3. Okay.
Losing
13-4 if we
bro.
beat the Broncos twice. 14-3 if we can beat the Chiefs twice.
You're gonna see what Hill did for that Kansas City offense, and now that he's gone, you're gonna see them come back down to earth a little bit. I know they drafted that receiver, but he's not Tyreek Hill.
You're gonna come back down to earth on fire and hit hard.
Yeah, and they're going down hard.
Yeah. So, and the thing is, if that idiot coach from the Chargers keeps going like, go for it on 4th down in your own side of the field, dude, AFC Championship, you got to come through Vegas to go to the play, to the playoffs.
How good does that sound? Could you imagine?
It sounds awesome. My concerns don't actually come. There's no concerns on the offense. It's always about Graham's defense. You know, it's like what I wanted. I didn't address this earlier, and I wanted to hit it, and I never got a chance to hit it. So when we were talking about Mullins, you know, we don't know what his injury is going to be. Is going to be out. You know, he only plays the man-to-man, the bump and run. So Graham said this, and he said, I need 4 good corners. Mm-hmm. We did nothing in the draft. We got one guy at UDFA, and now Mullins is hurt. We need some corners. We need corners.
That's a plan. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised. Bradbury is the most highly sought-after name. So, I mean, that move really wouldn't surprise me. Do I think it was in the Raiders' original plans? No, I don't. But I think that coming down, if Mullen is hurt, that is a name. But I think there's still more names out on the market that you can go get that'll be scheme fits, but their name might not be as recognizable. I mean, look last year. Gus Bradley brings in a true font, aging true font. And he
played decent.
He played decent. So there's guys out here on this market that can be system fits, and they know that better than we do.
Oh, and by the way, Raider Ray, this is his first live cherry popped. Just saying. But,
this is it. Going down tonight.
But, hey, I got a lot of those. I've collected a lot of those. But no, it's just no. You guys look at Raider Ray is a new content creator. I've got, you know, we got to get more people to subscribe because his content is fire and very in depth like this. So Rafucho,
what do you guys think?
Tell me.
What? What'd you say, Ray?
What do you think about Jonathan Abram in this system?
Question mark. I love the player.
So look,
I really do love the player. I mean, the guy reminds me of Tatum in a lot of ways, but his cover skills don't remind me of Tatum. And it's like it depends on how you can use them. It's like there's all this talk about let's move him to linebacker, but if you got to keep him up close to the line of scrimmage one way or another. It's like with all these different Graham sub packages, I'm so curious. That is like the biggest thing I'm curious about going into this next season because we know the offense is going to be dialed. But I want to see what he does. I mean, I really do.
So
because he's super fast. He can tackle like a machine. He hits hard.
Yeah.
He does a lot of things well. But then what he doesn't do well is anything on the back end. So I don't know.
So
I
you guys think?
I think after this season, we're not going to see Jonathan Abrams anymore,
right
on this team.
I like Jonathan's style. I like him as a player. But hear me out. And I think Chronicles, you'll feel the same way. In this back corner over here, I got a 24 jersey hanging up. And to wear that 24 in the silver and black, you better be a special player. And if he's going to stay on this roster, whatever. But you got to switch that number, bro. Because to wear 24 in the silver and black means something.
Yeah.
You're no Willie Brown, and you are no Charles Woodson.
No Charles Woodson. Even like when you bring in Marshawn. Marshawn's an established running back who's had a Hall of Fame career. Like that number 24 means something to this organization. It means something to me. Charles Woodson is. I went to Kansas City that primetime game for his last game of his career because Charles Woodson, man, that was the first Raider that I remember falling in love with when I was a little kid. And that number 24, boy, that jersey means something. And I feel like John Gruden just handed that jersey out way too quick.
I think I remember, and see, your point of view is Charles Woodson was your favorite idol when you were a kid. For me, I was going, hey, I like the draft of that kid.
Well, it was fun because when I really started setting my feet down and following the Raiders, he was making that. I would say I'd follow him a few years before that, but he made that return to Oakland, and all the fans out inside of the Bay that showed up and they're cheering and they're getting Woodson back. There was something special when Woodson came back. Like something about those seasons and watching him play again, even though we weren't very good football teams, he was so special on that back end. And he brought that energy back to Oakland, and it kind of carried over. And, man, what a career Woodson had.
James Farrell, that's a good question, because I looked at who our opponents were. We don't have a schedule yet. I looked at the opponents, and I saw us. I went, okay, if we split with our division, we're 12-5. If we sweep the two teams, I think we're going to sweep. We're going to go 14-3. I would have to go back and look at that. And I know two of them were really going to be tough games, and one we're just going to Raider, and it's going to be some team that sucks.
Yeah, I see like 11-6. Like, I don't know if our record's going to be that much better than it was last year. That might be a hot take.
Think about who's on our offense.
But I think that offense, one, we're really hoping that it stays healthy, right? Yeah. We're hoping that Devontae stays healthy, because if we drop Devontae and Waller and we're stuck back with Renfro and Jacobs and people stacking boxes, I don't get carried away about it, right? I don't, because we need them to stay healthy. But with this team healthy, I still think we'll still be in that probably 11-6 ballpark range, 12-5. That seems about right if everything goes right.
All right, y'all hold it down. I'm going to go get another cocktail. I don't agree with that, but I'll be right back.
What's good, Pyro? Salute to Pyro in the chat.
Yo, Pyro,
my brother. But yeah, I'm gonna say take on Abrams, and this is my take on Abrams. I always said this, especially seeing him play. I make it as a joke, but in reality, it might be realistic. He's one hit away from that shoulder from getting injured again. Mm-hmm. And as a linebacker, people are saying put him at linebacker, which would be the best bet. But as a linebacker, you got to be able to tackle. And if he ends up busting that shoulder, which would be a high possibility of tackling so much, it's gonna affect him a lot. And I have nothing against Abram where he got drafted. That wasn't his fault at all. It wasn't his fault that he got drafted in the first round. But at the end of the day, there's a reason why they didn't take up the fifth-year options on none of those players. And the reason was to see what they got this year, let them play for a contract. And maybe Abrams balls out, but even then, I don't think they'll give him a high contract, like a first-round contract. And I think he might walk by the end of the year, or he might end up being a surprise cut, but it wouldn't be a surprise cut because he's on a rookie contract, so they wouldn't do that. They'll let him play, but I think he might get injured, which sucks, and I never want to wish that upon anybody. But just the way every year he's been getting injured on that certain shoulder every time he's tackled, it scares me, man. And I hope he could ball out and be, healthy, but only time will tell with Abrams. It's a big question mark for me.
I agree with you, Steve. If you look at it, they would have picked up all three contracts. That's $25 million against cap. They ain't going to have that type of money. Not with the contracts they've been signing. And we also want to get a deal done for Renfro. And Willie Wayne, salute, brother.
All right.
What's interesting is that
anybody have a list of who our opponents are this coming year?
Yes. For right now.
Keep going. Sorry, brother.
Yeah, for right now, for away is going to be Denver Broncos or Denver Ponies. We got the Kansas City Chiefs or Kansas City Chiefs. Also, we got Los Angeles Chargers, also known as the Bulls. Also, we got Jacksonville Jaguars, Los Angeles Rams, the current champions, New Orleans Saints, the Pittsburgh Steelers, Tennessee Titans, and Seattle Seahawks. And from home, it's going to be Denver Ponies, so Denver Broncos, Kansas City Chiefs, Los Angeles Chargers, Arizona Cardinals, Houston Texans, Indianapolis Colts, the New England Patriots, and of course, last but not least, the team that I know that I hate them, San Francisco Niners.
Agreed.
Okay, so out of all those teams, the Rams sound good. The Chargers, the Rams, they played the same thing. F that draft and went and got players and just kept bolstering players. They're no joke. They're those Super Bowl champions, and they're no joke, and they did the same strategy. So that's not going to be an easy game. Although for some reason we have their number. Didn't we beat them last time we played them?
When's the last time we played them? I can't even
Oh,
remember.
no, that wasn't off. That was preseason. Never mind, scrimmage.
Last year, yeah.
When we lost players. But what I'm saying is, okay, so the Rams are going to be the toughest game we have.
And Niners are not going to be an easy job either. They got a good squad.
Yeah, that's
Who's
gonna
the
be
quarterback?
No, I think the last time that we had Los Angeles Rams versus Las Vegas Raiders, it was the preseason. But I am looking about the last time that let's see the Raiders versus Rams.
I think.
No, but I'm saying we're going to play the Rams. They're tough. You talk about the Niners. Who's their quarterback?
You mean the quarterback for the Niners?
Yeah.
It's not even about their quarterback. They just need a game manager. All they need with that squad. It's a deep team, OG. You know, as being a Northern California guy, and I don't like the Niners. You saw my F the Niners shirt.
Jimmy G.
Right.
It's like they were in a championship game, so it's like you can't discount them.
I'm not going to discount them, but I'm saying they're a tough team. But if we play them later in the season, they're banged up.
Well, we don't know that. We might be banged up too. So
some of these teams,
that's a tough squad.
Times, like, man,
Are the Colts going to be good this year? Yes, the hell they are.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Matty Ice is going to turn that team around and make them good. We got the Titans. Are they going to be good this year?
They'll be all right. They'll be okay.
Okay.
I think the Titans are going to be good this season.
They're going to be one of those sneaky teams that probably win football games that they should.
And
lose.
They'll be like 8-9 this year.
Okay.
They got a drop off. They lost their best receiver.
Yeah.
Okay, so other than the Rams and the Niners and the AFC West, and I don't see every team in the AFC West as equal right now. I think the Chiefs are the worst team in the AFC West. They did not do. They're going to take a downturn. They've been steady downturn. They went from Super Bowl wins to lost, then they get knocked out. I mean, I see the Chiefs are headed in a downward direction. I'm sorry, not scared of them Chiefs this year. I'm not scared
to catch up with them.
The Broncos. I think the Chargers we could split with. I honestly do. But other than that, man, we got the Niners, we got the Rams, and the Colts, and we got nobody else. There's none of these other teams that are going to be worth the shit we're playing.
If we're healthy, I could see us even sweeping the Chargers and the Broncos. It's the Chiefs that we just haven't proved on the field. I do like your take. I think
right, but Andy Reid's got a great mind, but
yeah,
guess what? We've matched that. We can switch on the fly now. Our offense and our defense on the fly, like Andy Reid does. He makes adjustments, but he ain't going to adjust as fast. Okay? I honestly don't. I mean, that's why. Okay, worst case scenario: we split with our division. We lose to the Rams. We lose to the Niners. We're 12-5.
Mm-hmm. That's about where I have them. Yeah, that's about where I have them.
But if we don't split with our division, we beat the Donkeys, we're 13-4. And if we beat the Chiefs twice, we're 14-3.
It's those little dumb games that worry me as a Raider fan.
Yeah.
Right. There's that Jaguars game.
The Bears last year, and the New York Giants last year. Those type of games.
But we were that's when everything erupted. Gruden was getting fired. The thing and all the NFC least. It was the worst division of football. We lost games to because we were going through hell of turmoil.
If the Raiders can stay out of the Raiders' way, then I think you know what I'm saying. Like sometimes, bro, we're our biggest opponent.
Yes.
Yeah, like if we can stop, just making stupid mistakes off the field. That's where our problems lie. That's when we went on that slide. Gruden and then Ruggs and then Arnott. I mean, that's when things slid. Otherwise, what would our record have been?
And Hobbs not being Hobbs, like off the field as well.
Right. Stupid shit.
I'm curious to see how Josh McDaniels and Dave and Champ. I'm really curious to see how they handle this locker room, especially coming off a season when you got guys like Henry Ruggs and Nate Hobbs and Arnett and all these guys with these. I knew everybody always hypes up Vegas like it's just this worst place ever, and you're gonna go there, you're gonna constantly be in trouble. But dude, you get in trouble in every city. It's just making the right decision.
New York,
Yeah,
Los
like
Angeles.
everywhere.
You got all the same stuff. You're not going to get in trouble in Green Bay, Wisconsin, though. Just saying.
Yeah.
I have a feeling those are all cities you got in trouble with, OG.
Oh, no. I never got caught. I never got caught anywhere.
He was too sly for
I have a
good,
clean
Michael?
record. The only place I almost got caught was Tijuana, but I got out of there before they could catch me.
Attaboy.
There you go. What's good, Michael? And honestly, what I learned last year was that never underestimate any team, regardless if on paper they look bad, because there's been a lot of teams that played spoiler towards the second half of the season, and they spoiled a lot of parties. The Jaguars did it with the Colts last season. The Texans did it with the Chargers last season. A lot of these teams that don't look good, they end up playing spoiler, and those teams are the ones that are like, ooh.
Facts.
Here's a question.
Yeah.
If we're going to be winning these games, and it's not going to be as close, they're not going to be as close to games as last year. But if it's the fourth quarter, we're down 3, and we got 2 minutes. Who do you want?
I'm going Raiders all day. I think 2 minutes, you're giving us way too much time.
Yeah, that's way too much time.
40 seconds. Minute 40 seconds.
You give us 40 seconds, and I'm still leaning. I'm going to take Derek Carr. Say what you want about it as a skill. There's something about when that.
Let's go one step further, guys. I will say this for the the AFC West. I see that like 40 seconds used to be KC. Now it's us. Because you know what? Casey got a lot of draft picks. So, yes, they will rejuvenate. They will play good. But they don't have that deep threat anymore. And now we got 3 top players. So, if we get in 2 minutes, the rest of the league's got to look out.
I know you guys seen this. Were you guys following the Chiefs drafts, how many DBs they took?
Yeah.
They are, dude, I'm telling you, they are scared, dude. They do not believe in the guys that they got, and they're trying to match everything that's going on in the AFC West, and they're not.
Dude, our draft was thin.
Yeah, but you could tell they would do. I think they honestly took like 4 DBs. They had to. Like, bro, they're grabbing anybody they can. I might as well go work out for the Chiefs right now at a defensive back spot, and I might have a shot.
I wish we would have done a little bit of that too with all our quarterbacks. The good quarterbacks in the AFC West. I wish we had some more depth there right now, because if the season were to start today, it's like, it's Rockasim and it's Averett.
Hey, and
if we get one injury from there, it's like, whoa, there's a big drop off.
Yeah, except for one thing, and here's what you got to keep in mind: our people only need to cover for 2.5 seconds, because our defensive line will be there.
I just want that. The edge is fine. I love the edge. I love Chandler. I love Max. I think that is probably one of the best duos in the league. My question is on that interior, can somebody step up and get a decent push? Because
you don't think the guy we picked up from the Bears,
Khalil Powell?
He will.
Nichols?
I don't think he's of that upper echelon of pass rush, if you want my honest opinion. I don't know if he's going to. He's going to get.
Who's the defensive tackles we picked up in the draft?
Vernon Butler or Matthew Butler out of Tennessee, and Neil Farrell out of LSU. Now, Neil is a run stuffer. He's going to be, like I said in my video, he's going to be a Jonathan Hankins replacement. He's a dominant run stuffer. He has marginal pass rush skills. It definitely needs to be developed. Look, these guys that we took, I love them as prospects. However, I can't expect year one they're going to step in and just run the show. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to take a minute. And now Neil, I think, is going to jump off more because in the run game, he's going to be – I think he has the potential to have a huge impact his rookie year, clogging up those run lanes. But Matthew Butler was my one to watch list because he had 5 sacks last year. This guy he's a little bit smaller than Neal, but his use of hands and his ability to get disruptive on the inside, if you use him as a situational pass rusher on the inside, maybe on third downs, this kid's going to have success. But what I'm saying is on first and second down, do we have a guy who is a 3-down defensive tackle that can offer you even marginal pass rush skills? And right now, out of Nichols, he is the one of the group, but I do not think that he's going to develop the pass rush skills that we're looking for.
Yeah, but Bilal Nichols is used to taking double teams.
He is.
Okay. Who are you going to double team on our defensive line? Is it going to be Bilal Nichols?
Well, I'm gonna go just kind of like to the Devontae Adams take. I'm gonna lean everything over to Max's side now. But,
okay. So you just unleashed Chandler Jones, Bilal Nichols, and whoever's in the other spot one-on-one. Not smart.
I do love this is the one thing, if I do have a red flag on the Chandler Jones thing, and don't get me wrong, I love the signing, love the pickup, phenomenal football player. Last year, he had 5 sacks in the first game of the season. After that, his pass rush skills, his stats definitely didn't add up. His pressures were still there, which is what I look for when I'm watching a guy. But if you're looking at sack numbers as a whole, throughout the season, that week 1 he had 5 sacks. I believe he finished the season with like 9.5 or 10, something like that.
You don't think he got doubled after that?
Well, no. What happened is that Watts got hurt. So when Watts got hurt, then you can put the double on Jones. So
right.
There's a difference, like, a healthy other defensive end, rushing. So when Watts was healthy, he put up those type of sacks. So it's all about the health of your defense. It's all about Max. So they're going to play off of each other. So if they can both stay healthy, I mean, he can do exactly what he did last year and even more so.
Yep.
I'm hoping we get that Chandler Jones from about 2 years ago, those 17.5 sacks.
Oh God,
that would be awesome.
Yeah,
well,
but
as we just said, if you're gonna put a guy over, you're gonna double him up on Max, right? You're not gonna put it on our defensive nose tackle or our interior defensive tackle. You're either gonna double up Max, you're gonna double up Crosby, kind of like what happened last year with Max and Yannick.
Chandler Jones, but in the middle of that line is going to be torn apart by Bilal Nichols.
And you know what? I will say this about, we talked about it. I agree, Ray.
The new Farrell.
Farrell is the replacement for Hankins. You know what? I can almost see him possibly because, I don't see him as like, being a favorite of Graham because after the 1 year Graham, he went to us. Yeah. So after 1 year, he was gone. So I can almost see Farrell almost taking over for him this year because he had the top rated run defense as a tackle at coming out of college. So all you need him is the first and second down. I can see him taking over for Hankins, and I like Hankins, but I can see him taking over. What do you guys think about that?
I think that could happen too. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying Bilal Nichols we're not talking about him enough. And I think he's going to be a huge asset to this team because you're not going to be able to double him because you got Max Crosby and Chandler Jones. You can't double this guy. And now he's one-on-one. He's going to eat you for lunch.
Man, I sure hope so.
Quarterbacks hate when the pressure comes up the middle.
What do you think, Jesse?
I can't wait for this defensive line to go, man. I'm excited for this defensive line. I think
you got 2.5 seconds to get rid of that ball, buddy, because otherwise you're going to die. You're going to be running for your life.
I hope that. I mean, I don't hope that. I know that Patrick Graham could really bring out the best in this defense. And I think that there's one thing we haven't been really talking about is the fact that we're going to blitz a little bit more. And the blitzing helps a lot with sacks and necessarily not go towards Crosby or something. It usually some sacks come from the corners that blitz. Sometimes it comes from the safeties that blitz or the linebackers that blitz. And I feel like everybody's going to eat on this front seven. And as long as the front seven is good, how we are expecting them to be good, our secondary is going to be just fine with what we got, even though it is a little bit thin and I would like one more cornerback. But I think this front seven is very, very good. In fact, I really think that as long as Abram stays healthy, he could be like a Jamal Adams where he gets like those sacks because he's being rushed so hard. And then the defensive tackles, all they really need to do is try to disrupt the middle. And I think that's what Neil Farrell Jr. brings to the table. I think that he's going to play that nose tackle position that Patrick Graham would like. And you know, yes, he's not going to come first. He's not like Jordan Davis where you'll be like, oh, already off the bat. But he will be impactful just because of what you got on the edges with Max Crosby and Chandler Jones. Those two guys together, I think Chandler Jones, he has played with people like Hassan Reddick and other people, but Max Crosby and his motor, man, woo, he's about to take the next step. He's only elevating every year, man, and I love it. And I think he continues in this.
And with Neil Farrell, if you got him in that nose tackle position, you run stump blitzes. This guy is going to feast on quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly, stump blitzes for a nose tackle are like, I played nose tackle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Quick thing, SC, that was facts, brother. That was straight up facts, dude. Loved it.
Yeah.
But if I played nose tackle, when you say stump blitz, it's my turn. That's all it is for a nose tackle. You run a stump blitz where you don't go up against the center. You hit that guard, go through the gap, hip to hip with everybody, and now it's like time to feast. I'm telling you, man, our defensive line is going to make our secondary look good.
Yeah.
It's not going to be the other way around. We've got it. Our defensive line is going to give quarterbacks like if you ain't got a quick release, you're dead.
Well, I think last year kind of proved that, right? When you're starting DBs are Desmond Trufant and you know, and the practice squad players for the Chargers, like this front is going to bring and the reason why I love the whole Max Crosby thing, why I love this guy so much is you pay a guy like this because he makes everybody better. This is a guy that when you practice with him, when you're off field with him, you see how he lives and takes care of himself. Like he's going to bring the best out of Chandler Jones. I think that you could probably see the best Chandler Jones that you've seen in a while. That's going to be hard to top, right? Because 2 years ago, 17.5 sacks. But I think you almost tap into that fountain of youth a little bit with Max Crosby because he pushes these guys. His energy is almost contagious. Two bookends like Chandler Jones and Max Crosby, that's going to be really hard to beat.
And the thing is, they've been friends for years. I didn't know that. And then I heard Max Crosby talking about it, that he always was picking his brain, Chandler Jones' brain and all that. And they, as soon as he got there, they hooked up like buddies. You know what I mean? Like
what kind of genetics does that family have, right? They got John Jones, the light heavyweight champion of the world, moving up to heavyweight. They got Arthur Jones. Now they got Chandler Jones. Like, bro, what are they drinking over there? In old Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Yeah, no doubt.
Hey, guys. Oh, my God. I didn't look at the time. But here's the problem. Captain Jack is running his show. And I told everybody, I want y'all to go over to Captain Jack's show and say that the Pendejos sent you. Because we're going to end this one. Thank you for everybody in the chat. I know I didn't keep up tonight. I feel bad, but we got into it. I wanted to introduce you guys to Raider Ray because he's a new content creator. Subscribe to his channel. The man has good, in-depth content. I want you to subscribe to Baby Mark, Eric, SC Experience. Stack them up. Subscribe to his channel. He puts out amazing content. If you're up late at night because he's on the West Coast, go follow him. Follow Raider Ray. Don't follow Jack Kenna because he doesn't have a channel.
He'll be in the comments section.
I'll be on all your guys' shows. So there you go.
Jack's like the guest star of everybody of the Raiders YouTube. But subscribe to these guys' channels. And hey, when this is over, leave a comment in the chat because I love talking with you guys later on in the week. But yeah, Raider Ray, I think you picked up quite a bit of subscribers tonight. And when people see your content, they're going to lose their minds. You now have, I'm looking at 156 subscribers so far.
Wow.
So, but Raider Ray's got awesome content. SC Experience has amazing content. If you could stay up late enough, I'm old. I catch him when he's on earlier, but when he's on late at 1 a.m, I'm like, yeah, I'm expecting my eyelids for hours. Jack Kenna doesn't have a channel. But if you want to stalk Jack, kind of just, you can go into any bathroom in any truck stop in the country and find his number on the wall. It's there. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go over to Captain Jack's channel. He's doing a show. He's on it. It's Friday, so he's not going to have limitations with Roku, so you can cuss all you want. And go over to Captain Jack Rackham and tell him the Pendejos sent you.
So as a co-host, I got to say, OG, thank you for having me on, brother. I always enjoy our talks on and off the air.
Right.
SC, I enjoy your multiple channels. You know it, brother. We'll talk some Raiders. We'll talk some baseball. And Raider Ray, hey, man, it was nice meeting you, brother. I'm going to go jump on and subscribe to your channel. I hope we can talk some football live, too.
Yeah.
Hey, nice to meet you, Raider Ray.
Yeah, I just want to say again, thank you guys for the last time. OG, thank you so much for reaching out, man.
No, bro, I don't thank me. I brought you on here because I love your content.
I appreciate that, brother.
And you put out some really amazing shit, and I want everybody in Raider Nation to know who you are.
I appreciate that, bro.
You know who SC is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's why it's wild, bro. It's wild.
You know who Jack Kenna is, and he's not even have a damn channel. I tried to talk him into it, but damn.
So
Hey, do SC Discord, too, guys. Do the Discord.
Anytime you guys want to chop up Raiders, man, you guys just hit me up. Hopefully we can all keep chit-chatting. This isn't the last time we all get together, so thank you, guys.
No, thank you, man. I appreciate you coming on my show.
Thanks, man. It was nice to meet you, man.
Yeah.
All right, y'all have a good night. I'm going to go hang out with Captain Jack for a little bit.
All right, sounds good.
All right, have a good one. Blessings.
Good night,
Salute,
brothers.
God bless you guys.
Good night, you guys. Love you. Sorry couldn't keep up with the chat tonight. It just, I wanted to bring this guy on. I didn't do my show for me. I did this show because this guy, you deserve to have some good shit from this content creator. All right. Good night.